Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ross Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. We almost had a top 10 matchup in the SEC in college basketball on Wednesday night, but the Auburn Tigers are ranked at number 11 in the sport, but they're still having a great season, and they're traveling on the road to face the number 4 ranked Tennessee Volunteers. I'm going to preview and predict whether I believe that Auburn can go to Knoxville and knock off the top 5 ranked Tennessee Volunteers, or whether I believe Tennessee can defend their home floor and stay atop the SEC standings, along with the Alabama Crimson Tide, with a win over the Auburn Tigers. Now, the Tennessee Volunteers, like I said, they are atop the SEC standings at 11-3 in the league. Auburn is 10-4. So if Auburn can get this big win on the road, it would help keep their chances alive of being able to win the SEC regular season title. But Tennessee's got a massive matchup coming up with the Alabama Crimson Tide on Saturday night, a Sonic blockbuster. So Tennessee cannot look ahead to that game. They have to make sure that they are primed and ready for the Auburn Tigers coming to town. I don't really think they're going to look ahead, though, because Auburn is a fantastic team in their own right. But still, that's going to be a very tough two-game stretch for Tennessee. Auburn, though, they have Mississippi State coming up next. That's not as tough of an opponent, but Mississippi State is still a pretty solid team. Auburn is being given a 32% chance to win this game. Tennessee is being given a 67% chance to win this game, which makes sense. Tennessee is a tough place to play, and Tennessee has a better conference record than the Auburn Tigers. Plus, Tennessee's won 4 of their last 5 games. Their last loss was at Texas A&M, and that game, Dalton Knecht did not play that well for Tennessee. Usually, Tennessee goes how Dalton Knecht goes. As long as he has a fantastic game, Tennessee usually wins more often than not. Auburn, though, has lost 2 of their last 5 games. They lost to Kentucky and they lost at Florida. Neither of those losses is necessarily poor, but they were able to knock off Georgia on the road last time out. But the only issue for Auburn is that their depth is going to be tested because of the fact Jalen Williams, their second best player who averages 13 points per game and 5 boards, he got hurt in the Kentucky game. Auburn's depth has been the edge for them in so many matchups this season because they have much more depth than most other teams in college basketball. But now without Jalen Williams, it makes their front court very thin because other than Johni Broome, they do not get many other contributions from bigs. Dylan Cardwell averages 5 points per game. Chris Moore averages 2 points per game. But Johni Broome is going to get a lot of attention from the Tennessee Volunteers and all of the other teams that Auburn is going to face down the stretch of this season until Jalen Williams can come back, and that could limit Johni Broome's ability. He averages 16 points per game and 9 boards. One of the best front court players in the SEC, much improved from last season. He's shooting the ball better from 3. He's really good down low, but I still believe that Johni Broome's going to have a much bigger target on his back, and that's going to make it much tougher for him to have success down low. Chad Baker, Mazzara, Aden Holloway, and Denver Jones, and Katie Johnson all do a great job in the backcourt for the Tigers, and even Trey Donaldson as well. All these guys average over 7 points per game. The Auburn Tigers, a fantastic team, very deep squad, but we'll have to see if they can have success without Jalen Williams in this game, especially in the front court. But Tennessee, they are the exact opposite of the Auburn Tigers. They have a star player. Dalton Knecht's been a revelation for the Volunteers this season since transferring in from Northern Colorado. He's averaging 20 points per game, 5 boards, and 2 assists. Dalton Knecht is very important for this squad, but I do believe that some of these other guys like Santiago Vescovi, Jordan Gainey, Zakai Ziegler, they could score more points if Dalton Knecht wasn't such a focal point of the offense. But if he's on, you just got to let him cook. And Tennessee fans, they love Dalton Knecht because they hijacked my poll. I asked on Twitter, as of now, who is your pick for player of the year in college basketball right now? And obviously, Zach Edey's probably going to win the award. He's only being given a 2% chance to win the award according to my poll because Tennessee fans took over the poll and they voted Dalton Knecht heavy, which ended up giving Dalton Knecht a 96% chance to win college basketball player of the year, which isn't going to happen. I appreciate Tennessee fans for voting in my poll on Twitter, but that was absolutely hilarious. Dalton Knecht is a fantastic player, but he's still probably not going to win player of the year, but he's a great three-point shooter, and he's made this Tennessee Volunteer team dangerous this season. Jonas Aidoo, averaging 12 points per game and 8 boards. He's an improved front court player this season for the Tennessee Volunteers. He's going to have to shut down Johni Broome to give the Tennessee Volunteers a better chance to win. Zakai Ziegler, one of the better point guards in college basketball, averaging 11 points per game and 6 assists. And Josiah Jordan Jordan Gainey, Santiago Vescovi, all experienced players, all playing fairly well this season, and Toby Awaka averaging 5 points per game and 5 boards. Maybe he can have a little bit of a mismatch with Dylan Cardwell down low for the Auburn Tigers. When you look at the series history recently for these two teams, the Auburn Tigers really struggled against the Tennessee Volunteers back in the early 2010s, but then Auburn started having a lot of success against Tennessee, winning 6 games in a row before losing 2 straight in Knoxville back in 2022 and 2023. Auburn won the last meeting at home against Tennessee, but the fact that Auburn has lost the last 2 times that they have played in Knoxville, that's not a very good sign for Auburn's chances to win this game, especially with their second best player out in Jalen Williams. But who do I believe is going to win this game in the SEC on Wednesday night? The Auburn Tigers and the Tennessee Volunteers are such eerily similar teams outside of their nature of scoring. Auburn's the deeper team than Tennessee. Tennessee's got the stud in Dalton Knecht. But if you look at what both of these teams score versus what they give up, Tennessee averages 80 points per game and they allow 67 points per game, whereas Auburn averages 83 points per game and they give up 67 points per game. So both of these teams defend at a high level. They're both very good offensive teams. Tennessee is going to be rocking and rocky top on Wednesday night when Auburn is coming to town. And you know Tennessee is going to want to do everything that they possibly can to stay atop the SEC standings along with Alabama. But I am worried about both of these teams. For Auburn, because of the fact that the Tigers do not have Jalen Williams more than likely in this game, that's going to hurt their depth. It's going to hurt their front court, something that Auburn would have had an edge in this game if Jalen Williams would have been able to play. Whereas Tennessee, with them having Alabama coming up next on the road, they can't look ahead to that game. They have to be focused on the Auburn Tigers. I think that they will. But both of these teams struggle from the three-point line. Auburn and Tennessee have a lot of guys that can make threes, but they don't shoot the best percentage from the three-point line. Both teams shoot well at the free throw line. Both these teams are just so eerily similar. And because of that, and because Auburn has the injury to Jalen Williams, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Volunteers to beat the Auburn Tigers 73-70. I think it's going to be a bit of a lower scoring game because of the fact that both teams defend at such a high level. But I think that Dalton Knecht is going to have one of those games. He's going to have a big day against the Auburn Tigers. I think that Auburn's depth might slow him down a little bit toward the end of the game, but I do believe that Dalton Knecht still should have around 20 to 25 points in this matchup. And then I think that Santiago Vescovi, Josiah Jordan James, Zakai Ziegler, they're all going to chip in enough points. And I just feel like Auburn, even though they have a lot of depth, I think their front court's going to be tested without Jalen Williams. Johni Broome's going to do his best, but Auburn is going to struggle in that tough environment. And I do believe that they're going to fall narrowly short to the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Whether you think that Auburn can go on the road and knock off the Tennessee Volunteers even without Jalen Williams, or whether you believe that the Tennessee Volunteers will take care of business. They're not going to look ahead to the Alabama Crimson Tide, and they're going to get a huge win over the Auburn Tigers on their own floor. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.